Hi everybody, you're looking at a big red Arcane Bombardment deck. Now, you know I love this 6-mana enchantment that lets us replay things from our graveyard, but I've been looking over the new set Brothers War, which was just released in the last couple of weeks, looking for new stuff to cram under a bombardment, but sometimes you just can't seem to pull together a new deck list for Arcane Bombardment itself, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a step back. We're just going straight red with this one. So we're starting off here with 4 copies of Arcane Bombardment, 4 copies of Burn Down the House. I'm running 1 Explosive Singularity because it's extremely fun to be able to crack somebody across the dome for 10 in a variety of situations. This deck, it really kind of gets going sometimes just because it's so easy to cast all of our spells, and we've got really a lot of card draw packed into here, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Explosive Singularity is a lot of fun. I started off with 2 of these and then cut it down to 1. Often this ends up just sitting in our hand. We want to dump it into the graveyard as early as possible, but we can cast it in this deck either using our creature tokens or all the treasures we end up creating. Down here at the 4-drop slot, I'm running 3 copies of Jaya, Fiery Negotiator. Jaya has so many abilities and is just an incredibly useful all-around planeswalker, and kind of baits out some of the early counter magic that an opponent might have, takes the attention off of us, and lets us cross over from the early game to the mid game and then into the late game where we can start playing Bombardment. The other piece of the puzzle that really brings this deck together is 4 copies of Big Score. If you see Big Score in your opening hand, it's often a really good sign, and if you can clear the way in the first couple of turns to be able to cast Big Score when you've got 4 mana available, it can often springboard you into getting Arcane Bombardment down a little bit early, and in some cases when our opponents aren't really ready for it yet. So if we can start the Arcane Bombardment process going and keep building up by the time we would ordinarily get to 6 mana, we've got a couple of spells under there, and it's a little too much for our opponent to catch up. Looking down here at the 3 mana slot, we've got 3 copies of Brotherhood's End, which is a great early game sweeper that helps us to stay alive. Also can destroy artifacts with mana value 3 or less, which is actually most of the great new prototype cards. A lot of the best ones played for their prototype cost count as 3 mana artifacts. We're running a couple of copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker because we know that it's fantastic and can generate some treasures and some creatures, and we can copy some of the tokens that we make, but the third ability is not too relevant, still a really solid card in Standard, so we're running a couple of those. Also got 3 copies of Electric Revelation because it's nice card draw that's repeatable with the flashback cost, because sometimes we don't end up drawing an instant or a sorcery, and we really need to keep the bombardment train a-rollin'. I decided to keep it simple on the low end, so we're just running 2 Play with Fire, 4 Lightning Strike, and 4 copies of Abrade. The first ability on Abrade is wonderful for taking care of a lot of annoying creatures in Standard, and the just outright destroy target artifact ability on the second one is really nice right now. There's a lot of people trying to play artifacts that we don't want to stick around, and so this gives us kind of an effect that is usually reserved for black decks in general, which can just outright destroy a creature. We're getting a little taste of that in red here. So 4 copies of this one, which worked out kind of nice. And a sweet tip that I'll point out to you, if Abrade has no targets on board, like if there's no creatures, but you have a couple of treasures available, just target your own treasure with the Destroy Artifact ability if you need another way to activate the old Arcane Bombardment. Looking at the lands, nothing too crazy. We're running 4 copies of Xander's Lounge for a little bit of cycling in case we draw too many lands. We're trying out 4 copies of Mishra's Foundry as a nice way to get a creature land and close out some games a little bit faster. And I've also got 1 copy of Blast Zone. This could honestly be 2. It's kind of an outside way to take care of some pesky permanents that red might not otherwise be able to handle. So we're giving this a shot in here as well. The usual 1 of Sokenzan just for funsies, and then a lot of beautiful looking mountains over here. So anyway, let's get over and see some of these games on the ranked standard ladder. I'm going to stick with you for some commentary, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. All right, let's get it rolling with Mono Red Arcane Bombardment. Great sign to have Big Score here in the opening hand. Whoops, a little tangled up there. Let's get that mountain down, keep Play with Fire up for the first turn or so. All right. Blue and white could be soldiers over there. Still haven't seen a good soldier deck that I'm really happy with yet. Thalia. Alright, well, let's get rid of Thalia. Thalia does not play nice with pretty much the rest of our deck. Alright, come on, 4th land. Just got to get to Big Score here. Well, that's interesting. Haven't seen that one yet. Nice. Mishra's Foundry here. All right, well, let's we'll take one. And big score. Let's get rid of one of these Abrades. Excellent. There's Bombardment right on time. Yeah, let's just see if you got it. No counter from the opponent. Yeah, a lot of the soldier decks I'm running into on the ladder don't play a lot of counter spells. Maybe I'm just not seeing the right list just yet. Alright, so it gets in for 2. We've got 4 mana available. Let's just go ahead and big score and see if we can pick up another land here. Alright, we'll go ahead and cast this Brotherhood's End. At least gets rid of the small artifact soldier. Not too worried about this 3/4 that's left over, though. We should be able to piece together a way to take care of it with, between Lightning Strike and Abrade. I think we'll be alright. Gets in for 3, and nothing else. Well, let's Lightning Strike that. We know we've got a Brotherhood's End under here to finish it off. And I'd also like to get this Lightning Strike in the yard to recast on some future turns. Let's discard the Lounge to big score. Pick up another big score and an Abrade. Well, Mountain, let's keep digging for some more damaging stuff. Alright, we'll cast big score. Put Revelation down. Don't need to do anything else. Ah, good, there's another Lightning Strike. And some more of the cards we just saw. But we could even just piece together a couple of Lightning Strikes here. Ooh. Wandering Emperor from the opponent. Alright.
Now you've done it.
If this is a soldier deck, it's kind of one of the slower ones that I've seen, but Brotherhood's End should be able to just take care of this whole thing, so I'm not too concerned with that right now. Oh, okay. You're a little more mid-rangey here. Well, not much we can do about this, but I think we're going to activate it anyway. We need that Brotherhood's End out of there, and yeah, well, I was going to say, we've got 2 big scores under here now. We should be drawing a ton of cards with this. Alright, Brotherhood's End on 3. I don't think there's anything to Abrade. So that'll take care of the token and the Wanderer.
I'm never done.
Big score for a couple of cards. Alright, some lands. Blast Zone could help us rescue Bombardment if we want to, but we may just go for the second copy here. Alright, another soldier. Yeah, I mean, we could start working on Blast Zone, but we still have a decent amount of things in the graveyard, have some card draw in our own hand, and tons of treasures to work with. Well, let's just go for number 2. And yeah, so much treasure. Let's activate it right now. That creature happens to be an artifact, so we will Abrade. Oh, opponent scoops it up. All right, good game. Back again here. Mono Red Arcane Bombardment. We've got a big score. Excellent sign to have that in our opening hand. We've already got Bombardment, so we just need to ramp our way up there with some treasures. Oh, and Jaya, excellent. Elos, definitely going to shoot that with a play with fire. Okay. Well, I think here we can hold up Lightning Strike. Could potentially just play Jaya, but we really need a land off the top here. Alright, well, if we want to play Jaya, that can't stick around. Jaya can kind of gum up the ground game for all this other stuff. Excellent. Land number 4. We can just start making monks and then be able to lean on Jaya in the future turns to help us either draw some lands, get in some extra damage at a blocker. Really versatile card for us. And if they spend removal on Jaya, then it gives us some better odds for Arcane Bombardment. Well, we got the second Jaya, so let's big score. Good. We pick up some more lands. This should help us build up towards bombardment. Our opponent's kind of stalled out just playing a couple of small creatures, so we can sort of gum up the works on the ground, slow things down a little bit, and try to reuse some of our spells. Lots of life triggers here. Burn down the house. Well, let's just get bombardment going. Jaya's okay to take one hit from this angel. Would have been nice to get her emblem going, but just too many flyers right now. I see where we're going with this. Cleric's deck. Alright, well, we're going to need to probably wipe this. Was hoping to keep Jaya around. Alright, 3 attackers at Jaya. Yeah. Go ahead.
Now you can tell everyone you beat the Jaya Ballad.
No. Definitely want to wipe, but that's probably the right play to try to get in here. Opponent likely seeing this coming, and so is going to try to prevent a little bit of damage. But we'll get in for 1 and wipe the board with Burn Down the House. Pick up a free Lightning Strike with Bombardment. That's nice. And life gain is fun, but it doesn't really worry me when I'm playing with these Arcane Bombardment decks because, I mean, as long as the bombardment doesn't get stopped, I mean, we can just build up enough damage to work on any size life total. So get this going right away. Let's target a treasure here. Make sure we're targeting the right one. Good. Excellent. We pick up Burn Down the House and Lightning Strike again. So you see, as long as this sticks around, we can hopefully snowball into some damage here. Just a mountain, that's too bad, but let's burn down the house to get things going some more. Excellent. A big score is going to help us fill back up again. 1 more Lightning Strike to the face. Burn down the house for devils. Big score. Ah, no spells. Alright, well, that is 9 devils, though. So let's go ahead and get in for 9. Really just 1 more turn, and the threat of the devils getting destroyed should kind of seal the game off for our opponent. Although they could be trying to gain enough life to kind of get out of that scenario here. Well, no spells from us means we're going to have to draw with this lounge. Alright, just a big score. Well, we do have a few nice things tucked under here, so let's go ahead and activate Bombardment now. Alright, well, this may be wrong, but let's get rid of these blockers. Really don't want them gaining any life with the missionary. And that should be an additional 6 devils. I don't know, hopefully I've mathed this out correctly, but much like the bear tokens from our previous video, more devils is usually right. All right, we're too short, but let's see. We can abrade. Oh, that prayer. That prayer got me one game. All right, so rather than let them gain this life, let's activate now with Abrade, targeting our own devil. So that's at least 1 damage. And then I think what we can do... Yeah, there's... Well, we can just play with fire their face, but we're going to get some style points in here. Lightning Strike, big score in case they happen to have an answer. But really, burn down the house, sweep the board for 5. And... let's just a couple of triggers here. So, what, I think we hit 18 triggers there? Good game. All right, let's jump right in here. We got mono red Arcane Bombardment again. Let's get this Foundry down. Just gives us the option if we want to attack next turn. Fauna Shaman. That one kind of scares me. Don't really want you to be able to search for like the perfect creature for your spot in the curve, but let's go ahead. I think we're going to try this out. That's funny. I thought that cost 1 to activate, but at any rate, still pretty good. Standard definitely short on creature lands right now. Alright, let's get rid of that before it gets too big for Burn Down the House to handle. Definitely don't want it helping out any of its buddies. Normally I would kind of let them build up a little bit more and then kind of get some card advantage by sweeping it all at once. Alright, Missionary but no kicker, so that's just a 2/3 lifelinker. Well, Jaya is going to slow things down a little bit. Make a couple of monks. And try to get to a place where Jaya can exile some cards from the top for us and help us dig a little bit. And we do have Burn Down the House, so we could get to a point where we put down some Hasty Devils and can do 3 damage to something with Jaya's ability, since we'll instantly have at least 3 attacking creatures. Well, let's block with a monk. Good old expendable monk. Definitely Blast Zone in case we want to work on that, but this is like... Yeah, let's do this, like a mini Burn Down the House. Just to get rid of these 2 things. Oh, okay. Now, of course, they've got the stance to keep it alive. Jaya's a little bit hurt, but we can make a chump blocker here with this monk. And we do have the Foundry, the Mishra's Foundry in reserve, too. They gonna attack? Well, I think we can throw a Foundry in front of this. We'll double up with the monk and the Foundry. If we can keep Jaya going, I'm not worried about finding more lands. Alright, monk number 2. Let's get in, see what you do. Nothing. Alright, let's get this lounge down. And we're just hanging on to Burn Down the House here. I don't want to hurt Jaya too much, and content to just add some more monks to the board instead of forcing the devil issue right now. Although... Yeah, second one means we can definitely get that started, and Jaya's ability should be able to clear this Circuit Mender out and allow us to get in for damage. They do get a card, but that second Burn Down the House, I think we're going to be able to stack the board with so much damage that they can't destroy these devils without kind of ending it for themselves. Another Fauna Shaman, and they've got a ton of mana. Well, let's still try to stack the board up with devils. Probably no blocks here. Any block makes them lose the shaman. Okay, so we're in a decent spot. Let's make another monk. They're at 7. We've only got 6 devils, though. Alright, so they will go searching. What could they get here? Alright, Titan of Industry. Probably gain some life, make a rhino. That'll put them to 12 and let them block a little bit more. Well, we've got this secret weapon here. Just checking the cost. It costs 10 for Explosive Singularity, so I think we can attack safely with just these and leave 4 creatures back. That plus our 6 lands should allow us to hit them with Singularity for the win, no matter how they block here. I'm sure you viewers at home could tell me if I could have just attacked with everything for the win there, but I'm sensing a theme with this red deck, and that theme is style points. Let's tap our creatures, point the Singularity over there, and good game. All right. Jumping right in here for another one. Mono Red Arcane Bombardment. Plenty of stuff to do in the early turns here, so we'll see what we're up against. Hopefully this isn't my Kaya's Bombardment list from a little while back. Opponent on Boros so far. Cavalier. Well, that definitely is going to earn an Abrade from us. I don't want that to eventually get too big for our damage-based removal to handle. That's one thing we kind of struggle against. So I'm actually very thankful that mono green's not more of a thing right now, because mono red has a terrible time dealing with big old green creatures. Wow, all right. Opponent just opting to play the Cathar there. That kind of gives us a window to draw a little bit. Unfortunately, no more lands, though. Let's kind of see what they do. I'd like to big score here if we can get away with it. Ouch. Angel Fire Ignition means we're going to take 5, and the Brutal Cathar is going to get a little big. Brotherhood's End not going to cut it anymore, so we'll discard that to big score. There's a land. Very nice. Still no Arcane Bombardment. There are 4 of them in here. Let's get this mountain down. I think just for safety's sake, we got to go ahead and remove this. All right, luckily no protection, but did not want to take an additional 7 from that card if they decide to Angel Fire again on their next turn. Okay, Kumano will hit us for 1. All right, an adversary can get 1 token on it. Also gain them some life too. We draw Fable. Let's get the lounge going. Fable can at least give us a blocker for now. We do have the option to lightning strike something as well if we really want to keep it around. Is that Risona? I always get that confused with, I think it's Ryu, the other one. You know what? Let's just block. We may end up using Burn Down the House on all of this anyway. Yeah, let's try to draw into something good here. All right. Fortunately, just a couple of lands and an Abrade. Let's pitch these 2 lands. All right. Blast Zone, not bad, but yeah, definitely need to board wipe this. Try to do 5 damage to everything. Hopefully no Valorous Stance or anything like that. Good. Oh, all right. I'm trying to just finish this off here, so we're getting a little dangerously low. They're going to try to hit us for 2 with the etching. Well, let's Abrade before they can Angel Fire. Don't want to get too low where they can just burn us out of the game with Play with Fire or Lightning Strike. So our Fable flips. We've got a Jaya. Let's make a Monk. And hopefully Jaya sticks around. That's going to be some great repeatable abilities to help us increase our board presence. Look at a few cards off the top. Uses Abrade on the Fable. Believe you can't Abrade Planeswalkers, which has definitely hurt me against Sorin a few times, but is helping us out here. Let's pitch this creature land. We're going to have enough creatures with Jaya if we can make sure she's safe. Opponent taking a lot of time to think over there, weighing some important decisions with the 1 card that they have left in their hand. So let's make a Monk and see if they want to come back and play some more Magic with us.
Get out there and blaze a path.
Perhaps. Well, let's make some Devils and try to finish this off here. Yeah, might as well. We can Revelation if we want to. Let's get in for some damage. Opponent deep in the tank. 2 of the trickiest cards in their hand. Just kidding. You never know. Could be Salt, could be Connections. All right. Well, I'd like to thank Comcast for this victory.